My name is Ryan Clapham. I go by the artist name Dobby. I'm a drummer and rapper, or a drapper, and I also integrate piano and drums on the stage.
So you're here at Reeperbahn. You just played, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. You just played the Aussie BBQ. You've done a couple of them now this year. You were at the Great Escape earlier in the year. Talk me through a little bit about what your experiences this year have been like.
Geez, it's amazing to be able to go to places like Brighton and London and, did something happen before?
Tim's just helping us out. Yeah.
Ah, that's cool. It's amazing to be able to go to Brighton and London and give them a taste of what's, coming out of Australia, the talent that we have is coming out of Australia. And each time there are people who are just eager before they even hear the music, what we're doing. It's pretty exciting. And not to mention, like, I'm on this skits lineup with people like the Rubens, and back in Brighton I was on the lineup with Kaid and just amazing people, so it's a dream.
And it is quite amazing, isn't it, when you leave the kind of borders of Australia, so to speak, and come and kind of see the rest of the world, what sort of opportunities there are outside of Australia.
Yeah, 100%. It's funny the way that people are reacting to my set personally, and just seeing the differences, some people kind of came up to me after London and said it was refreshing, and I've never heard that word described for my set before. It was really interesting, and what things they find, appealing to them. Yeah, so Germany's been just unbelievable. The Berlin Aussie BBQ and the Hamburg Aussie BBQ have just been amazing. Yeah.
How do you find kind of what you're talking about in your music to translate when you do come to places where English isn't the first language, and certainly some of those cultural experiences aren't?
On the way here, I had heard things about people in Germany being really interested and fascinated with Aboriginal culture, which I found super interesting. So I was wondering the whole time if they, one, would get what I'm saying, but also understand, my English verses, especially because I'm rapping them quite fast. So I don't know if they're like picking up everything. I don't know. But so far it's been really. Today was amazing. I wore the Aboriginal flag. I'm at the Aussie BBQ, and I feel like it's important to represent Aboriginal culture. And so far people have really, resonated with that. And what a blessing to be able to come to the other side of the world and to celebrate 65,000 plus years of culture, Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander history, survival, knowledge, and that's what it's all about for me.
Talk me through a little bit about kind of what's going into your sets at the moment. Obviously, you've been spending a bit of time now touring the EP and the music that people know. Are you squeezing in some new material while you're over here?
I am. So I spent 3 months in Paris working on a new album.
What took you to Paris? Well, how come that was the setting?
Why not?
That is the perfect answer.
The perfect answer. Why not? Yeah. No, Paris is it's not like people in Australia would really. I didn't know this information because it's not like it can naturally reach us. But Paris is a huge hub for hip hop.
Oh, incredible!
The
it's
fashion,
second biggest hip hop
the dancing. Well, yeah, so it's it was great to be able to network and meet other people in dance and production and rap, and work with them and see a little bit about how they perform, but also just to be in my own space and feel like I can work on the album in peace. Sometimes in isolation. It was super interesting.
with some good food along the way as well, I'd imagine.
Baguettes, fromage, and tartare de boeuf.
Are you gonna, do you think you'll have it in you to do a French lyric song one day?
If they want me to butcher the language, I'd be happy to. We'll see how that goes, but
It'd be hard with your flow. I think that would be. Practice. You can do anything with a bit of practice, right?
I mean, we might as well try. Yeah, who knows?
I mean, what you're doing now took a lot of practice, didn't it?
Yeah.
It didn't happen overnight.
Yeah. No, it didn't. I started off playing piano and drums, and then integrated those things into rap, and so that's how I became, the drumming rapper that I am today, which is really a lot of years, but it's rewarding.
Yeah. And talk me through what the rest of the year is holding for you. You've obviously got these dates over in this part of the world, and then what's next?
Right, so I'm working on quite a few different projects. Like I said, the album. So once I go back to Sydney, I'm going to re-record and really get stuck into the studio. I'm working also on another couple of projects, one of which is the River Story, which is part of my Peter Sculthorpe Composers Fellowship. So I'm a composer as well. And that is me integrating hip-hop into classical music, you know, trying to bring what was once known as something that wasn't as elite, you know, or as well respected as classical music all these years. It's just as important, and if anything else, it's more important nowadays because it's more direct, it's more powerful, it's tied to activism. So that's my goal.
That sounds very exciting. I can't wait to see what happens there, and I can't wait to hear the record next year. Whenever it might come out.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, thank you very much for your time. And,
thank you, brother. I appreciate it.
I want to leave on one note, and you've now done a few of these over the last year or so, but what advice do you have for those coming to events like the Aussie BBQ, Reeperbahn, Great Escape?
Oh, man.
What do you know now that you didn't know before you started?
I said this on well, first of all, I'd say if there's two things that I want people to get out of coming to the Aussie BBQ is that we have great talent coming out of the nation, but also that I represent, you know, like I said, this culture of time in memoriam, and we are continually evolving. And those stories are important narratives that need to be heard and are continuing to be heard with amazing talent like Kobe D and Tasman Keith and Kaid and all these people. So it's a new wave. Yeah.
Beautiful.